You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life.
One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're happy, and sometimes you're sad. Now that's that thing called life. That you're gonna have some ups and you're gonna have some downs. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
You say, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. There is no magic pill. Work your ass off. Everything is always impossible until someone does it. The first rule of success is to have a vision. When you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. So why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. They told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this vision turn into reality. You've got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. Rule number 2 is, don't listen to the naysayers. So whenever someone said to me, it can't be done, I heard, it can be done. Everything is always impossible until someone does it. And when they said it's impossible, I heard it is possible. Third point that I'm going to make is work your ass off. There is no magic pill. There is no magic out there. You cannot get around. You have to work and work and work. Muhammad Ali worked his butt off. And I saw it firsthand. I remember that there was a squats rider that was there in the gym, and he was working out and he was doing sit-ups. And they asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? And he said, I don't start counting until it hurts. That is working hard.
What good is it to make a lot of money if you don't want to go home to your family? You're a public success, but you're a private failure. And so how can we win simultaneously and take pride in everything that we do? How can I work hard for something and my performance is not based upon the outcome? This thing called process over product, and I firmly believe the process saved my life. And what I mean by the process, I'm talking about the way I handle my business on a daily basis. Everybody wants the prize, but nobody loves the process. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it. See, the thing about chasing a product, and what the product is money. The product is a house, the product is a car. The thing about chasing a product, the product can always change. And if your performance is always based upon the product, what happens when the products change and you don't take pride in what you do? But the thing about loving the process, everybody wants the prize, but nobody loves the process. Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. Your expectations never supposed to exceed your effort. But a lot of people, they wish, and they're not willing to work. But life is going to hit you with a certain level of opposition. Life is going to hit you with a certain level of adversity. And life is going to say to you, you said you wanted it, now let's see how bad you really want it. The great thing about it, if you love the process, when opposition and adversity hits, you will have a way of embracing it and using it, not only for yourself, but you will use it to make everybody that's connected to you stronger, because your vision has to be larger than yourself. If everything that you do is just about you and for your personal gain, something's gonna come up against you that's gonna be a lot tougher than you. And if it's just about you, the moment you hit it, you're gonna quit and give up every time.
Stop wasting time and get up and start moving. Be responsible for your actions. Do not give yourself any setbacks or fallbacks to a position that you cannot recover from. What that means is you have got to stop allowing excuses to take control of your life. So don't waste time. Don't waste the valuable life that you have today. Stop wasting time and get up and start moving. Be responsible for your actions. Be responsible for your life. Keep pushing forward and get the job done, because all you have is one life.
Hard work works. And you know what's great about our culture, y'all? The world's lazy. It's a good thing for you and me. Everybody will talk about it, everybody will post about it, but nobody wants to roll up their sleeves and just go get it. And so what that means for me, I don't have to be the most qualified. I don't have to be the most talented. All I got to begin to do is to apply myself, and by default, I'm going to separate myself from the crowd.
I've never been the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. I've never needed to be, right? Because I believe at the core of what it is it's my will versus your will. It's my bloodline versus your bloodline. Can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing? In other words, if you don't get what you thought you was gonna get, will you still be the same individual?
How do you stop making excuses? This is actually pretty simple.
Live your life like you're the hero in your movie, and right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster.
Recognize the excuses are not valid. They aren't. They're trumped up. They're conjured up. They're fabricated. They're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. The truth. The truth will set you free.
Kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad motherfucker. He really did what he had to do. Wow, my mom really got her shit together.
Don't believe the lies, believe the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill. You have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
I was a little kid that wasn't afraid to dream as big as I could.
I wanted to be the greatest. What I did wasn't rocket science. I wanted to be the best. A middle school teacher told me I was never going to amount to anything. For me as a kid, I had dreams bigger than anybody else could ever dream. So for me, when I went through a span of 5 or 6 years where I didn't miss a single day of training, 365 days a year, that made me different. I got 52 extra days each year than anybody else has. If you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. Everybody else is taking a step back on Sunday when they weren't swimming, and I was taking that one step forward. I was willing, I think, to make sacrifices. The great do things when they don't always want. That's what separates good from great.
I think of myself as the greatest person that I can be. I was dedicated, I was hardworking. That put me in the shoes where I am now.
When you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
In my old job in the Navy, we had to move through a lot of tough things. Whether it was
going up a steep hill with 100 pounds on your back, or going through a swamp where your feet are sinking into the mud with every step, or going through the jungle where you're breaking trail through thick bush and vines.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you got to want it.
And sometimes you're barely making any progress. Sometimes you're barely making any progress at all. And that tough situation is making you want to stop. And what you eventually learn is you can't stop. When you're going through tough situations, you got to take that next step. You got to keep moving forward.
I can't tell you in words how I felt, how down I was. When you lose control of your own mind, you're in a bad place. Exterior assets mean nothing if you can't control what's going on in the inside. 2.5 years later, I decided to make a comeback. You're my motivation now. I'm coming back to get you. I'd suffered with mental health problems my whole life, but I didn't know what it was because I never had no education on the matter. Someone asked me, he said, what are you going to do after the fight? I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be deeply depressed. When you lose control of your own mind, you're in a bad place. And I didn't think I'd ever box again. Even the day after the Klitschko fight, Sky Sports interviewed me, the UK broadcaster who put it on. And he said, what's next for Tyson Fury? I said, I'll probably never box again. Because I knew the fire was going, I didn't have that hunger anymore. I had the hunger to beat Vladimir Klitschko, but not to carry on and continue. And I said I didn't want it to be about money or financial gain. I wanted to be the best of my time, beat the best man, and that's what I did. 2.5 years later, I decided to make a comeback. From that day, I got my tracksuit on in the morning and I was going to run 2 miles. I got about 200 yards and stopped. And I thought, right, I can't run. I thought, okay, I'm going to walk the rest, and I walked. And while I was walking, I was on my phone, and I saw a little video from Deontay Wilder. And he said, he said, he's that fat, he'd never come back. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to give it you proper. You're my motivation now. I'm coming back to get you. Everyone said, no, you're never getting back. The Boxing Board of Control suspended my licence in the UK for the cocaine use. So I had a court case looking at ban forever, basically. Suspension. The doctor made me medically unfit to fight. They say, right, this court case is dragged on, insufficient evidence, get rid of it. The suspension. I had a meeting with the Board of Control in the UK and they said, look, if you can get past medically fit by a doctor, mentally, then we'll reassess your case. I went back to the Board of Control, handed in my certificate, by all these different doctors, examinations, physical and mental. They said, we have no other choice but to give you a license reinstated. Bang. So it was 3 of the biggest obstacles in my life at once. Were all done within a month or 2, straight away. Then I just had the easy task of losing 160 pounds.
Guess who's back?